Welcome to IAG Talks, a place where we break down barriers, share resources, take you behind the scenes, and offer empowerment for people with disabilities and the community that supports them.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Today I have the honor of talking to Tommia. Tommia is a 20-year-old that we support, that IAG supports through the DCFS program. She is an amazing, amazing person, and I've had the honor to hear about her story, which she is going to share with us today. So, Tommia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. My name's Tommia. I'm 20. I'm a very outspoken person. I've been in DCFS about 5 years now. Being in DCFS is not easy, especially going on the case or the reasons why you're in there. My reasons have been because of verbally abuse and just mentally health issues and probably the negativity around me. I want to say I'm a girly girl. Things for girls or men who's in DCFS or kids who are in DCFS. Like I want to say, find your goals, something to really help you get motivated every day. My thing is, I love to clean up. I love to exercise and decorate. So I'm more of a girly girl. So I like to decorate things such as jewelry. I like to make poems. I love to write things about God, even things that's not in the Bible. I love to make a fantasy about God. I love to pray. One thing that I feel like will help people get through life is prayer. Prayer have always been my go-to goal. I want to say I have an amazing mother who have raised me the best she could, and I want to say thank you to my mother and my grandma who have supported me in all the decisions. Um, Times get hard where like I'll feel alone. But people are really not alone. You'll always have that one person in your corner or you'll have multiple people. At first, I was very shy, very quiet. I didn't want to open up. I didn't want to let people know what was going around me. I didn't want to tell nobody that I was being hurt or that I went through things because it was always judgment or it was, they might have not believed what the person was saying at the moment. My case was everyone believed me. I was just shy. I was scared, and I had to find my own peace. I went in my own space. I went at my own speed and I went of how I felt comfortable with. My favorite color is pink. I'm a very outgoing person. Pink describes me because it's lovely, it's outstanding, and it describes like how much of the pain I've been through. But Pink is a beautiful person. I feel like I'm a beautiful person inside and out. And I'm a beautiful person. Like I have welcome arms. I also am a motivational speaker. So I go to church sometimes, maybe 20, 30 minutes. I'll speak, I'll pray over the church. I'll let people know the things I've been through, or I'll just tell them their issue and they'll let me know and I'll try to help them. I am a very helpful person. I'm a very loyal person and I have confidentiality. So whatever you tell me or the next person, I always try to keep it between myself. Um, I like to do arts and crafts as well. I love playing games by myself. I love just being to myself. No one is better than yourself. So I always push the negativity out, no matter how bad the situation is or what's really going on in the moment. You just always have to find yourself. I always thought that I wanted to be like other girls or be a certain way, but as the years as I got older, you wouldn't want to be like nobody but yourself. You want to make sure that you come first. It could be hard. It could be where you just feel like, oh, nothing's going to work. But you have to find your own speed and something to keep you peaceful. And what keeps me peaceful is the loss of my father. I lost my father back in 2022. I want to say seeing him go through the things, it made me a better person. So as my mama. So I want to say if you lost a loved one while being in DCFS or away from your family, it was more harder because I started judging like I wasn't there. I should have been there, but it wasn't my fault. So I always try to look at the outcome as a guardian angel. I always want to have someone who I can go to, even if that person not a go-to person, I will always have myself and God. Some people not spiritual. For me, spiritual helps me through everything. I love to sing, I love to cook. So no matter what I'm doing, I always revolve around God, and I always make sure the things is good. One thing people don't know about me is when I was in middle school and high school, I have a learning disability. I was in and out of, one call it slow classes. I would call it a chance to be in a smaller group. Just didn't want to be in a bigger group. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I was slow or anything. People have their own pace. People have something that they might be better in or slower than other people. And that's throughout my life. I let people get in my head. I let people judge me just because of certain things I didn't know. But when I stood on my own ground and when I knew that I was going to be how I am, all the negativity people will go. And those who really go stick with me without judging, without laughing, or without asking too many questions, I will always stand up. And the words that I will always say is that I am who I am. So sometimes people won't really understand what I am who I am means, which means I'm a loyal person to myself. So I try to say to myself, I try to get the most help that I can. When I age out of this program, I will be going into a IAG cellar, which is mean kind of what I'm doing now. Staff will check on me throughout the day, make sure I'm okay. It's a program I want to be in the rest of my life to really help me financial, help me with therapy as well. I feel like every day of my life, I need therapy as of right now. Everyone have their own goals. So you have goals to go back home or you have goals to really get DCFS help. It goes a long way. People think when you turn 18 or 21 that that's the end of DCFS, but you have steps to follow. So I'll follow steps as the time I got in and from the time I leave. I always want to make sure to don't be scared to open up and don't be scared to show people who I am. So I used to struggle a lot with my looks and stuff like that. But now I have to look at God and I gotta pray. Prayer helps me a lot. It might not help other people, but when it comes to me and my family, it helps us, and it won't hurt to just stop one day and just to look up and just start talking. Because if nobody, well, off the phone hanging up, because or I used to be on FaceTime with my friends without them saying they doing something or whatever. I always know one person who won't hang up or who won't leave me is God. So I just love being
I love
a
that.
person, and I like to
Can
be.
I ask you a question? So when you transitioned into DCFS to where you are now, can you just share with us, like, what is that process like?
The process is based off, like I said, it's based off your history. It's based off what you have been through. Mine, such as was the mentally, the physical, the verbally abuse. So mine started off as in hospitals. I wasn't ready to come to a program like this because I was young. I was 15 and 14 to 15 when I stayed in different hospitals. So I had to learn that my anger and I was being nonverbal. I was being really, disrespectful. I wasn't trying to hear what they had to say. As the years went on, nobody really told me I was disrespectful. I thought it was. Staff didn't feel that way. It was just the things I was doing to myself. I felt like that. The process, it could be how you want to. If you're not listening or obeying by them or trying to go to your therapy or getting help, I would want to say that all I do is I pray. So when I didn't want to come out to do activities with the other girls, when I didn't want to do nothing, I would sit back and I would pray. I would watch movies and I would listen to music. I feel like it's based off of you. It's based off how you want your future to look.
So how do you spend your time? Like now you're a little bit older where you're going to be working and you have worked in the past. But if you're coming in at like 14, 15 years old, what does that look like? How does your day-to-day work?
How my day to day looked was I was just depressed. I felt like there is no hope of me being in DCFS. I might as well go back to my mother. I might as well go back to the behavior issues or the things I used to do on the streets. So when that looked like that one day I just cried and I just prayed that I would get help. And from that next morning, I started talking to staff. I started coming out my room. Being depressed, when you already been through a lot, like a lot in your life, you don't want to stay there. A lot of people might want to stay there. It might be hard to come out their shell. Me, I didn't want to stay depressed. I didn't want to think about the past or what happened, what I did to people or what they did to me. I always wanted to make sure. So my day to day it was always just being lazy. I didn't want to open up. But as I turned 16 years old, it was no more of the laziness, no more of the not listening, no more of feeling like I didn't want to open up. I started opening up. I started doing more and like taking control of myself. I was always listening to what people had to say, but it'll go out one ear and throughout the other. So once you have control for yourself, once you know what you want to do without getting help, it's good to have help, but it's good to always stand and make sure that you have that. So my day to day was just lazy and I was just not an open person.
Is there anything that anyone did to help you feel more comfortable and open up to be able to move forward?
Yes, one thing I would say, it was actually three staff. I don't want to say their name. It was actually three staff, all three ladies, since I don't feel comfortable working with men. One thing that they taught me is once I start opening up singing my songs, they can sit back and tell me their stories based off my songs. I never knew what they personally have went through, but I can relate to them because they have been through with the health issues. They all have been through the same thing, and with the losing someone or coming from a background. So they helped me see that you have a long life ahead of you. And it's your choice if you want to live a long life or if you want your days to be shortened. Don't mean by getting shot or something happening. It means by if you want every day to be depressed or do you want every day to be smooth? Not every day is going to be a good day. Not every day you're going to want to cry or open up. But these three staff, they showed me that you want your days to be more smooth or do you want your days to be more shortened and depressed? So I chose to be more open, more going, and I chose to do what I thought was best for me.
That's amazing. And I'm so glad that you were able to open up and that there was staff there that made you feel comfortable to be able to take those steps more toward your goals because you're truly a visionary. You know, the one thing about you that sticks out that I think is so amazing is that no matter what your environment was, no matter what your circumstance was, you in your head always knew that you were meant for more.
Yes.
And you stuck to that, and I think that that's truly remarkable. So once you started to open up and live life in a way that was a little bit more goal oriented to you moving forward and progressing, what were some of the goals for that you had for yourself?
Some of the goals, I had a lot of goals. I have up to 30 goals. So I had to limit some of those goals because when I say goals, I try to set goals every other weekend, every month, every year, and the next 5 years. So one of my goals was to lose weight. So I want to say when I was about 18 and a half, I was approximately around 190. So I know that I wanted to, as I was getting older, I started having more back pains because of the weight that I was gaining, which causes the medication and me being depressed. I didn't want to lose weight. I didn't. So over now, me being 20, and when I weighed myself last week, I want to say I lost over 30 pounds within the last couple months. So I would really want to say that I just don't do it by myself. Staff will help me and I will limit the carbs. I used to work at a bakery, so my goal was to open up my own bakery. So now I bring like desserts to my families and friends. They might give me $30, $40. I don't ask for much, but I love to make cakes, brownies and stuff. Also, the staff here, I have, might make a little brownie or tell them how to like taste the cake and teach them a little things because they taught me, but to see what they'll do. So that was one of my goals, to lose weight and to become a better bakery person, which I've been doing for the last 3 years. I have been getting better at cakes and learning how to make stuff from scratch. Another goal was to always get close to God. My goal never changed for every year, especially since 2018 till now. My goal have always get close to God, read the Bible. I used to think when people go to church every day, every Sunday, that means, that's going to make God bless you. God's going to bless you the way you want to be blessed. So it might be some Sundays where I work or not lazy, or I might just be sad and just want to have church from home. So I always have church from home. Sometimes I will listen to music for an hour. I will listen to music while I'm in the shower. I will listen to music while I eat. I will sing my own church music. So I'll have about 2 to 3 hours. I'm not going to be on the phone. I'm not going to call or text nobody until I have my church service, because that's how church goes. I want to say my uncle and auntie have inspired me to become my own pastor, which I look forward to in the future. Another goal was to control my OCD. I was always going off on staff or family members if I felt like, oh, this not clean, or if it's not going my way. So I want to get better at my OCD, which I have. I will have lazy days like, no, that don't gotta be perfect. But me, my life not perfect, but I want certain things that I can do that I know that can be perfect. And another goal is to manage my money and keep my real problems to myself and only let a little. Because when you give out too information, people can use it against you, or they can plan something in the future that might not be good to you, or they can steal your ideas. I had a friend one time who I told them I wanted to become a soul, person. They wanted to do that when they never really believed in it. So I felt like my idea, and that was years ago when I was little. So I feel like I have more goals. I can't say too much, but those were my goals. And another goal is to open churches around the world and go to a lot of churches and be a motivational speaker. That's something I'm still working on. So, and helping elderly as well. I love working with elderly. In the past, I had approximately about 6 or 7 clients. I'm working with a new client. So it feels good to know that some of these goals I am achieving. And I have a goal every day is to do like skin routine and stuff like that. So I can't say too many goals, but I have more than 10, you can say.
That's a lot. Yeah, you're doing such a great job. And there's a couple of things that you said that I just kind of want to round back to. And you were talking about there's some days that you don't want to go to church and you do church from home. You also said, in middle school when you were in the special education, you were working at your own pace. And so I think that reminded me of church, and you're going at your own pace. You're still tied to the outcome, right? So you're still wanting to praise, you're still wanting to be connected, you're still wanting to do those things, but you don't let the outside world dictate whether you're going to do that or not, because you've already made that internal decision. So you make church your home. You're singing, you're praising. And I think that that is so amazing. And that is a lesson that so many people need to learn in this world, because they'll look for those things on the outside, instead of the things inside. They'll need to have, oh, I need everyone to tell me that I'm great, or I need to have these material things, or I need it to look like this. But you're saying it doesn't have to look like any of that because it's coming from within. And I think that that is truly beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing that. I could totally see you going around the world speaking. I think that you're such an inspiration and you just exude joy. Like, I enjoy talking to you and you bring a smile to my face. Because this is going to be something that we just share with the community, when people sometimes think of DCFS, they might think of just troubled kids, or kids that might have, some challenging behaviors. And now here we're talking to you, somebody that came in through DCFS, had a challenging upbringing, you transitioned, just like anyone else went through life's roller coasters of trying to navigate it. But here you are, like, doing so amazing. And you are somebody that we all need in our lives. So, what is something that you can share with the public that they might not know about from a DCFS standpoint? Like, what is something, you would like a neighbor, the community to know? How can we all support somebody like you more to feel loved and valued?
I want to say, like I said, it's all with everybody on Space and Speed. One thing that I want to say that might help me, that will really help others, is don't keep hiding, because as people might get frustrated, I know some people like, well, they did all they can do for me. I was just being a little stubborn, or I was just really scared. So no matter if you're scared, no matter if you feel like you are fat, ugly, you just don't want to open up, no matter if people have called you a liar in the past, or people have just not believed you, I want to say faith is a strong word, so is hate. So I want to encourage all people who are in DCFS, or kids who not even in DCFS, that faith comes a long way. No matter how hard you want to give up, or how hard you just don't want to be here in life. Because me, I used to have suicidal thoughts and stuff, but nothing with nobody. It was something within. But now as I look, you have to sit down one day and take time to yourself and realize you have a lot to look forward to. I used to think I want things to go my way and it have to go this way. And that's a lot of problem with the kids of DCFS. Anger comes. Everyone in DCFS, some type of anger is going to come with you. I don't want that anger to control you, because I tried to let that anger control me, but I have to stand up for myself. And you have to set rules and boundaries. And I had to do that with friends, family, and staff that I work with, or lawyers, or my GAL. You always put yourself first. No matter how many people, if they say they've been there or if they was, you always have to put yourself first. And you always have to be strong, even when you feel like your situation won't get no better. Just take your time, and that's what I did. I took my time and I kept going. People always want to use different words. I don't want to use the same words. So I say it's power. It's power in everybody's life, no matter if you're homeless, no matter if you ran away from home, no matter if you stole, no matter if you got beat on, raped, all those things comes with anger, no matter if you feel like friends or family, because I've been through all those things. You have to keep going. And always, I love to just clap my hands because I did it. And I also like to talk to myself. Don't never let no one say talking to yourself is crazy, because I love to talk to myself, because a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish over being a DCFS, I accomplished about 99% of those things.
That is truly amazing. You're such an inspiration for people in the program, as well as anyone listening and everyone in the community. So thank you so much for being on today. Thank you for sharing your time and your story with us. And we can't wait to see where life takes you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.